What's up, guys? I'm Tyler, whatever blows your hair back. And like we said, we got the myth, the man, the legend, Danny Koelsch in here. Man, it's just great to have you in here, Dan. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself to people and tell us a little brief about yourself?
Yeah, sure can, man. For one, I'll start off with saying, but told that I was not supposed to be so far away from the mic. So tonight I'm going to probably...
I got to shut the music off. My bad.
We got a little background jazz going on here. Are we still going live or? Yeah, well, we got a little distraction. We probably ought to tune it down a little bit. Maybe get ourselves a little more programmed. You know, reboot. That's what we say. Reboots.
All right, let's go back. Dan, you were telling us a little about yourself.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. Last night I was informed that I was talking to the mic a little bit too far away, so let's get up a little closer tonight, and so everybody can hear me and get a good description of what I'm saying.
Yep.
So, but anyways, I'm Danny Koelsch, born and raised in Standish, Michigan, right here, right where Whatever Blows Your Hair Back studio is now.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I'm a farmer. I work
Unplug
at
that.
Arnett County Road Commission, and back in the early days in the 90s and the 2000s, I was a professional flat track racer. So we're not. They're not good. We're having a little bit of a glitch. Huh.
This is why we do this. Okay. No, there's audio.
Just a little glitch. That's all it happens. When you're in the big time, that's what happens, man. You got to work through things.
Oh, we got it. It's just didn't pull up. Just go back to where you were saying.
I can't do the audio checker because I was... Hey,
all right, guys,
each
we're
one
back.
of us has our own program.
We got my brother Tan on the sticks back there. He's doing his best. He's doing great, actually. Yeah, he's doing great.
It's a working process, bro. That's what it is.
And, yeah, we're tuned in now. You guys can hear us. Sorry, I think we were good to go. We're just, like, always double-checking. So Danny Boy told us a little bit about where he came from, where he worked at right now, and how long you been riding for?
I've been riding since I've been 6 years old. So, and right now I'm 54 years old, born in May 1st, 1970. So that puts me at 54. So yeah, I've been riding bikes since I've been about 6 years old.
I know, and my whole life I know you've been riding bikes. I remember watching you out at the tracks at Dusty Dudley's, and you were just hitting these triples. Man, I think you were like 70-foot triples, and you were just gone in the air in the trees, and I'm like, wow. I was just always amazed by that, and I just always wanted to strive to be that guy. And I never made it to that level of expertise, but I can't believe how much you've made it, and I admire that. And when I ride, you're always behind me, and I can hear you just roar. I'm like, oh, he's coming. And I just know that you're playing with me, and it's just like, he's teaching me something right now. And then you just come back, just full throttle pin. I'm just like, man. And there's just something about those experiences that no one else can give me when we go riding, because I know that you're the best. And when you're behind me, you're just looking out, and you're not trying to, like, do me no harm.
No, absolutely. I'm there for inspiration, to help you out, to give you an opportunity to adjust and to learn, and just to maybe watch what I do. I mean, I'm not the best by no means.
Yeah.
I mean, I never have, I never will be, but you know, I'm pretty good at what I do, and I'm very blessed for sure of what talent I have. And yeah, that's just, I'm out there anytime I'm riding with somebody, I try to strive to be loyal and considerate.
Yeah. I believe that you are respectful.
You know.
Like, understand that guy might be inexperienced, and not to blow past him right now on a corner because it just freak him out. And
right.
I think that you're a king of that, and pretty impressive. It's fun
cool.
to ride with.
We've had a lot of good moments of riding.
riding
together. It's been a
Ryan,
blast in a lot of days.
You know who I think of a lot when we hang out is Ryan Landchak, got Miles Michak, Hoovenin. That little group that we had, Hoovenin didn't ride as much, but he was always one of those A riders that you were like, man, he's really good.
Yeah.
And
sure.
you and I would go out and And that group, man, I really miss that group. I hope one day we could get that back together.
Yeah, that would be an awesome thing. And just to bring up Landcheck, he was a class act. Man. He was definitely someone that you wanted to ride with and have a good time with.
He was
him
good.
and his brother.
Kenny too. Kenny was really good. Kenny was older than me. He didn't really hang out with our group. But yeah, Ryan, he hit the big jumps and he would rail them just like you.
Yeah, he wasn't scared, man. It was fun, man. I had a lot of good times with those guys. And obviously, I wasn't professional in motocross racing, but I took it to another level that I didn't ever think I'd be at because we actually went down to Redbud.
Yeah, Redbud's.
And I rode that track.
Yeah, and it's got the biggest, is it a step up or one of the
It's kind of like a tabletop, but it progresses uphill for at least 40 to 50 feet. And it just launches you.
Redbud is one of the biggest motocross tracks in Michigan, if I don't mistaken.
I think it is because it's got that phenomenal Mike LaRocco leap, as they call it.
Mike LaRocco, that's a throwback.
I don't never done that, obviously. Like I said, I'm not in the program. I can do jumps. I have my fair times at jumps.
You
but
do the
I'm,
thing,
I'm
Dan.
not,
You're just being humble. You know who I've been watching in the motocross scene a lot is the Deegan family. That new Deegan son. I don't know if you heard. He was on the Mike. You were talking about those guys. I think the guys used to do backflips with Travis Pastrana. The Metal Militia team.
Nitro Circus.
Yeah, well, those guys ain't all on it, but that Nitro Circus that's one with Travis Pastrana. And then, anyways, that family took off in the sport, and they're running motocross right now. And that dude's phenomenal to watch, talking about good riders.
Yeah, he is.
That
he is
Deegan.
an
Have you seen the
rider.
Deegan? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've watched some of his videos and
running
races he's been at, and he is one phenomenal rider, that's for sure.
That shows you those families. You can really, if you grew up, and that's back to you. You grew up in a race family. Let's talk a little bit about growing up with a father that raced as well and put you in the game, living on a farm, giving you the opportunity to ride this terrain. Maybe you'll explain on that, how it started.
Yeah, like I said, I started racing when I was, or for that matter, riding when I was about 6 years old. I think I started on the ice. It was ice racing. And my father, he definitely was, I don't really know how long he raced, but he did race. I think once he started establishing a family and started raising kids, but his inspiration of racing was still there. So he wanted to hand it over to me. So he started building bikes for me, getting me involved. And before all that, just
you had two bikes, right?
Man.
Yeah. Keep you guys in mind, like it's not one bike. A team runs two bikes in case one breaks, right?
Usually, yeah. But when you're down in your younger age and you're just starting out, usually just a one bike program.
Yeah.
When you're younger. But as you progress, as things get to be a little more competitive, per se, you want to make sure you got a backup bike.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's what's two of them. And what does a bike like that run? I'm sure people are probably wondering. You put into a bike and how much time, what do you spend?
Well,
like that?
For that to be said, obviously we're not showing the actual bike that I raced.
Tanner's got that scene. Let's put that scene on real quick.
Yeah,
Tanner, can you flash that on camera 4?
Yep.
There it is, right there. If you guys tune in, that's Danny's bike. Now,
that's Danny's page right here.
That's Danny's page. Yeah. So if you guys are not following Danny Boy on Facebook,
I wasn't following him, and I just asked him. So hopefully he accepts my request.
Yeah, so that's Danny Boy's
I'm pretty
Facebook
sure
page.
I will, Tan, man.
This is Danny Boy ripping the flat trap. How fast you going here, Dan?
Well, I could only guess that I'd probably be doing about maybe 85, somewhere in that range. That was a cushion track. I like them cushion tracks. Them cushion tracks are a little bit deeper.
Look at him just ripping. That's a Harley. You go ride the Harleys? What is that?
Yeah, that's my XR 750 Harley Davidson. Yeah. Like I said, or I was starting to say that this bike behind us is just kind of my practice bike.
You're more, motocross
bike.
So what you go put around and play with me on?
Yeah, we can go play around with you and a few more of our other friends, and just guys we can hang out with and get some I guess not say practice, but yet just to build your endurance. To get a little bit of ability.
Get the arm pump. I don't know if anyone knows about arm pump.
This bike here is just like I said, my practice bike, the one that Tan Man just showed where I'm racing on. My XR 750 Harley Davidson, and that's the one I actually race.
And that's the topic of your boot. I know you want to talk about what that part is, and that's something different you wouldn't use on a motocross bike versus a flat track bike. You want to talk about that boot?
Yeah, we can. Actually, we'll get a little visual. I'll grab a hold of it a little bit here. And these are actually the boots that you would even wear.
More on the screen, Dan. More on the screen.
More on the screen.
Yeah, right
okay.
there. Let's move this out of the way. I don't even know why this is here.
Even to say that most, everybody
down there?
rides with a motocross boot. Anybody that rides in any kind of a dirt bike, this is a motocross boot. But this on the bottom is what we call a steel shoe. This is for the cornering. This, when you do a flat track, you go into the corner, you throw the bike sideways, and you put your left foot down as you're progressing through the corner. This kind of gives you an ability to balance yourself, but yet then your foot is off the peg, so you're going to have to skate along the ground a little bit. And that's what this does. This actually helps you smoothly ride over the dirt with your foot because it's got a hard surfacing bottom on it, and it just skates over top the ground. So
yeah, this is going to spark.
yeah, it will spark if you get the right material on it.
You wear them down, right? They get worn down.
That's pretty much what you do when you're cornering, and that's what a steel shoe does.
You definitely want that when you're steel tracking, or
That's what
flat
you need.
tracking.
So you need that in flat tracking, would you say, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Highly
cannot,
recommend.
because the fact is, your boot is on the bottom is so aggressive that you slide across the ground 70, 80 miles an hour, your foot will grab and it'll fling your leg right back. So this way you got to have something that's underneath your boot sliding on the ground.
Yeah, makes sense. And something that ain't going to catch.
Something that ain't going to catch.
Flat, really
Yep.
flat surface.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a special boot, guys. Now you guys know different than flat tracking when they're running that. Let's talk about how you're the former Grand National '93. Let's talk on it.
Well,
It's got to be one of your proudest moments.
that actually is. I mean, it goes all the way back from when you start racing. I mean, when you're from your youth. I mean, it's like I said. I started when I was 6 years old, and I went through the ranks. Actually, I started on after an 80. I went to 125. I won the championship in the 125 series. I usually go to a 250, but Dad just wanted to jump to a 500.
Yeah,
So
just
I
get you
was
the
young.
access speed.
I just jumped right onto a 500, and I don't quite remember what exactly happened on the 500.
Okay.
I did pretty good. I was
That's a
competitive.
whole lot of bike, guys.
It's a big jump from 125 to
yeah.
a 500
Yeah.
when you're like
Yeah.
13, 14 years old. So
Turn you into a
anyways,
man.
anyways, I went from that and then went into what we call like Pro-Am. It's like
AMA racing?
Anybody, say for instance, a golfer. They're not pro yet,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're amateur, and they're just coming out of the amateur ranking. So they go
Going
to
pro.
It's called
It's the
Pro-Am.
intermission, yeah.
It's kind of progressing into a pro level.
Okay.
So they call it Pro-Am. And I went in the Pro-Am, and I was riding a 600 then, and I won the championship on the Pro-Am level. And then I went to what we called junior. Now, this is back in the AMA Pro days. Now they changed it to AFT. It's a different whole program now. But anyways, back in the day when I did ride, I was on the 600, and then I went into the junior class, which you could ride a 600 there too, but then I jumped on a 750, a Harley-Davidson XR
Upgrade again,
750.
more speed.
Junior was just a step lower than the pro expert class. So I went into that. We didn't travel all over the place. We didn't get to travel to California. We didn't go to Florida. But anyways, for that to be said, that year I ended up fourth in the points. So that was pretty good, being that we missed probably at least 4 to 5 races.
And that's probably
through the whole
why you
season.
took a fourth. And those big
Yeah,
long
because
races, it costs a lot of money to go to that.
It does. Travel to California, it takes a few $1,000s.
Now I know, watching you grow up and watching you ride, there was a couple moments in your life where I seen you just hung up in a cast, where I was like, man, what happened to this guy? And he can't walk for a long time. He's hurt. Why don't you talk about some of these hurdles that you went through on these injuries going 100 miles an hour, getting banged into a wall? Is there any injuries that pop to mind?
Well, there's a lot of injuries that pop to my mind, actually. So
You got bones sticking out of your arm right here. This guy's got bones just sticking out of his shoulder.
I got scars all over my body.
Yes, you do, man. This guy.
It's one of those things. But anyways, it's like we could start with not particularly this bike right here, but the motocross style. I was over to Jeep Van Warmer's, actually, over to his place. He had a motocross track built. I did this long tabletop and overshot it. Broke both my arms at the same time.
I forgot the arm break.
Yeah.
You got broke.
I was walking around with 2 arms broke at the same time. So,
man.
and that was just that was the only accident that happened on my motocross.
How big was that? How big was that tabletop?
Oh, it was probably a 60 or 70 footer at least. But anyways, that was the final end of that program. But getting back into the actual flat track crashes, I guess you could say, I didn't have really a significant terrible crash until I turned expert.
Yeah.
And
pushing the threshold.
And they weren't really my fault. Most of them weren't my fault. I think I've had probably 4 or 5 bad crashes, and they all were involved by other guys hitting me.
Yeah.
Or falling in front of me, or, I mean, say for instance, I crashed at the Springfield Mile.
Yeah.
They call it the Magic Mile.
All right.
And you get going probably 130, 135 down the straightaway.
Yeah, that's bad.
Handlebar to handlebar, 4 to 6 inches away from another guy.
God.
It's only about this much distance. You're by another guy with a handlebar, and you're right at the back. And it's just like NASCAR. You can draft them right by him and slingshot by him. But anyways, I was going into turn 1, and somebody come up behind me. The force is so dramatic. The guy behind you, the air settles down so much, it sucks you right into the guy.
Oh, really?
From behind. So what happened, this guy was unexperienced a little bit, and he just sucked himself right in and knocked me down. I went in the hay bales over 100 miles an hour.
You talk to this guy after that and tell him how you feel?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's, you got to put bygones behind you and just, pick your head up and keep pushing forward.
That's part of the game out there.
It is. And there's other accidents, too. I mean, I've had injuries, my compound fractures in my leg.
Yeah, I remember your whole leg. I remember you bounced off some wall or something like that.
Yeah, that was when you coming off the line in Eldora Speedway, actually, in Ohio. And, that guy fell in front of me, and I had nowhere to go. And
Dan's leg just broke literally in half.
Yeah, just totally. My tib and fib was both compound fractures.
And this guy, he's in the gym all the time, in shape, always working out. Physical fit, real motivation. It made me, when I was younger, to be like, I can be like this good shape because he's doing it. It made it seem more possible for me.
Yeah.
So good on you.
I'm glad that I was an inspiration to you. I really am.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about too. I mean, it's one of those things where you have to have a determination to be healthy.
You got to go out of your way to do it.
Yeah, you do.
Bad.
I mean, I wish I had more.
You got it. You got it.
But
look at this guy right here just bearing off.
Yeah.
Guy is full of scars and bones popping
when you got 2 jobs, and it's hard to be dedicated. It's really hard to develop a standard of, because if you're at a top level of flat track racing or any kind of racing, you got to be dedicated to the gym. You got to be dedicated to your
strength and conditioning.
Strength and conditioning, yes, absolutely.
And
I don't think I
put
put enough. I didn't put 100% into that. That's my problem. I may have. Some people say, well, you go to the gym and everything, but yeah, you got to put.
You could have pushed. You knew you had more.
I needed to do more, but it's hard. More. Your body can only take so much.
I'm a big gym guy myself, and every time I leave, I tell myself I could have did more.
Yeah,
I didn't. But one of the things I'm most proud of is I can walk away out of these gyms not hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
I go in there, and if I even lift a weight and just feel like, ooh, stop. Immediately I stop what I do. Change my whole workout. I don't even try to. Who am I impressing? I'm just catching an injury.
Right. Yeah.
Real quick, Dan. Hey guys, I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back. If you guys are just tuning in, we got Dan Koelsch here. We got Tanner on the sticks. We're here live in Standish, Michigan, at the Whatever Blows Your Hair Back studio. And once again, we got Dan Koelsch here talking about his race stories and all how his upbringing is in the race sport. So let's talk of this. Oh, you talked about this. This one right here, wasn't that 1 mile race you talked about?
No.
You said you did a mile?
None of these actually plaques here or any kind of.
I mean, just to take a time to think about all these plaques. This man's got plates on plates.
First place.
I'll take first.
He'll take it. First place. More first place.
Yeah.
This man did it. Danny boy, he really did it. He took and he conquered. Let's see what else we got on the
accomplishments. Nice job, Danny boy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It takes a lot of dedication. Like I said, I mean, all these trophies and everything that we have in front of me and plaques and everything,
takes a lot of hard work.
It does take a lot of hard work, but it don't mean nothing without the people that are behind you too, you know.
And that leads us into the people who are behind you, the sponsorships. that leads us into that. So why don't you go ahead and name drop some of the guys who's been carrying you through the sport and your shout outs and give a chance to recognize their greatness.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I dedicate everything that's been possible in my life is Jesus Christ. I mean, he's the number one thing in my life because he's given me the opportunity to have faith and get me through the ups and downs and the struggles in life. And, he just gives you that balance of giving you an understanding that he's in control of everything. No matter if things don't work out right or things do work out right.
Yep.
I mean, it's all about him. And, my wife, she's been a phenomenal wife, and I love her to death.
Support group, number one supporter.
Yeah, definitely. She's my number one supporter.
Gotta have
sure.
that, man.
Gotta
have it.
On a worldly figure, actually. So, yeah, she's been there. She's been through thick and thin for me, takes care of me.
What's her name? Let's give her a shout out. Lucy. This is a shout out to you for being a spectacular wife. And Danny Boy, appreciate you.
Lucy. He's coming home.
He's coming home to you, baby. Lucy, he's coming home to you, baby.
He's coming home, Lucy.
Okay, let's get back to here a little bit.
Sorry, Lucy.
Let's do it up.
I got emotional, sentimentally weird.
But anyways, back to all the sponsorships and everything.
Let's start with.
And the next one is my dad. I mean, obviously, we talked about him.
Yeah,
he
started. He did your
He's
mechanic.
what started it all.
Yeah,
he's been helping
backbone
me through. He's the backbone of it.
Oh.
He's the whole leadership of it. He's
finance.
been the
Brian the Young. Yeah,
he's been the whole program. It's been expensive sport. Yeah, absolutely.
Sport.
I mean, these bikes are not cheap. Obviously, this is my bike. I bought this bike, but my dad's pretty much taken care of all the expenses on the Harley Davidsons and everything, and those things.
And he was a mechanic. I know, and he was a mechanic, and you blowing those up.
And he's been a mechanic, and he's getting older, but he's there yet. I mean,
you have a mechanic too. Let's give your shout out to your mechanic.
Yeah, absolutely. Ron Branda. He's been a phenomenal guy that's dedicated himself and worked endless hours and trying to get things right. And there's been times where we struggled.
Yeah.
And mechanical things have happened, and it's not because of him, obviously.
No.
It's just part of life, man. It's part of racing. Things break down. You can't hold that against somebody. So but Ronnie Branda, he's built some phenomenal bikes, and he does a lot of mechanical work and for other people too, and people that want to build motors, and he's been building some fast bikes.
Yeah, he's working on Chase's bike. We got 2 bikes he's working on right now.
Yeah,
we use him as well.
He does a lot of good stuff, man. He's in a definitely corner with us as far as mechanics.
Shout out Ronnie Branda for the best bike mechanic out there. Really nice guy. I've met him personally a few times. Like I said, he's fixing our bikes. Really stand-up guy, and if you guys need some bike work, he's the guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the guy.
And we'll just step in a few manufacturers like Jeep Van Warmer. He's always been a friend for me. I mean, through life. I mean, we've always been friends for quite some time, and now he owns a manufacturing company over here on Industrial Park Drive, and it's Eastern Manufacturing.
Yep.
And he's helped me through my race career this year, and he's threw a little financing at me and understands because he raced cars in his days, and he understands the whole ethics of what it takes to build a team and build bikes. So
he does, and he also did a job for Chicago. Shout out Chicago Fabrications. I'm the owner of Chicago Fabs. He actually did a bench for I did out in New York and did a big project, cut out on a CNC machine, his laser jets, all the metal work, hole drilling. We got some support out there.
Yeah, right on.
So he shout out Jeep Van Warmer, you guys. We appreciate you. I got another job coming up. Actually, I need to get in there and get quoted.
Yeah.
It's another cool table. So we both use Jeep and me. So we support you guys, Jeep Van Warmer.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll go right to the next guy. It's John Schmidt. He used to be a native out of I guess not native, but he was what would you call it? Somebody that lived in Pinconning actually, and
local.
Local guy at Pinconning.
Local name.
He owns Midland Sand now.
Okay.
He's been a real good supporter for me too. Actually, he's helped me through things, and it's actually Groundbreakers. He goes by Groundbreakers too. He's got 2 significant names that he goes by, but Midland Sand, he's wanted me to recognize Midland Sand. And
Shout out Groundbreakers and Midland Sand from Whatever Blows Your Hair Back Studio. If you guys are just tuning in, we got Danny Koelsch on the set talking about his motocross career and his professional flat track career and all about his life and who he appreciates. And I'm Tyler, the host with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back. Keep tuning in, guys, and we're going to bring you some cool facts.
Yeah, so anyways, we just want to keep going on the list down on sponsors. I don't mean to draw it out too long.
No, you're not drawing a lot along. I just like to remind everybody what they're watching.
Absolutely. Mike Stevens is the next one at Stevens
Cycle
Center.
Sales?
Yeah,
Stevens Cycles in Linwood.
Stevens Cycle Sales in Bay City, but he's located out of the Midland branch. So that's the one out of Midland Sports Center.
Never been there.
Yeah, it's Stevens Sports Center, actually, not Midland Sports Center. Stevens Sports Center, and then it's Mike Stevens, and he's been a great guy that's been on my side. He's a wonderful spiritual man that just gives me uplifting words, and
that means a lot. Those uplifting words.
This is where this awesome bike come from too. It's like, couldn't ask for anything better from the Stevens family, man.
You buy all your bikes from there.
Yeah, and they give me great deals, and of course that's just a little sponsorship that they want to help me out with. So yeah, they've been on my side for quite a few years.
Do they sell KTMs?
I don't know if they do or not.
And we got a lot of them. I don't know if that was a fan or if that was just some angry person. Yeah, because I'm looking to buy a KTM. I don't know. I'd like to give my money to our people. Keep it in the family.
Well, yeah, they greatly appreciate that.
Find me a KTM. Stevens Cycle out of Midland. What else we got on there?
And we'll work down the list here. I really got to give a shout out to my sister.
Okay.
Sister's in Florida. They live north of Tampa there, her and her husband. She's got a couple businesses. It's called Hot Works. It's
Tell
one of
me
the
about Hot
businesses where it's a workout center where you work in a confined space. It's 120 degrees.
Oh, you're working where it's hot.
Yeah, and it's a workout, bro. I've done it before, been there, done that, and it's awesome. I mean, it just lifts you, it pumps you up. It
gets your heart rate going and you're breathing.
Your heart rate.
But man, you just want to get out of that heat, though.
You do.
Oh, man, you want
out.
When
it's done, man, you're just grateful.
You are grateful just to have fresh air.
Man,
I go in those. I've done them, Dan. I've done them. I do a lot of hot workouts.
She's got some good business down there, and I am sure grateful. That's my sister, Deb.
Shout out Sister Deb. I know you, too. She used to babysit when I was younger, maybe. I think so, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it could
if she
possibly
didn't,
be.
The story sticks now. You better believe it.
Yeah. Let's go on down the list. Let's go to Ryan Wojtovich at Wojtovich Farm.
Oh, okay.
He's a local
Farm.
farmer.
Yeah, I know him.
That does a lot for the community. He's a farmer in the community.
Yep.
And, I've known him for years, and he's always appreciated me for what I do, and he's always enjoyed watching me race, and he's been on my corner, and he's decided to throw a little cash, little king,
Wojtovich Farms.
King my way.
Thanks, Wojtovich Farms. They're actually clients at Standish MI, and we appreciate that as well. We do business back and forth with the Wojtovich Farms as well.
Yeah.
Another small-time circle, keeping the money in the circle.
Absolutely.
Just keep giving in this
Yeah.
circle.
Small community does good for each other. And we'll move on right down the line. And the next guy that I work with at the county, his name's Jeff Feeney. They own Frank's Hardware in Pinconning.
Yeah,
Great
okay.
people. They got a lot of things down there.
I didn't know you had all these guys connected with you, Dan.
Well, it's
This is what it takes, man. These sponsorships what keeps Dan rolling out there.
and this is just a great guy. I work well with him at work. I mean, we have a good time, and he helped me out. I threw a little something at him. I said, "Hey, you want to give me some help with my flat tracking?" And he said, "Yeah, why not?" So it was cool with him. And like I said, he owns Frank's Hardware down in Pinconning. And
shout out to Frank's Hardware in Pinconning. We appreciate you, and so does Danny Boy.
Yeah. And I guess I got you on my list next. That's Whatever Blows Your Hair Back, baby. That's exactly what we got right here. This dog right here has got it going on.
I brought my checkbook.
Write that check.
It's Whatever Blows Your Hair Back Studio, but the money comes from Chicago Fabrications. Hey, and I'm going to cut you a check at the end of this. I don't got a pen, but I'll.
We ain't worried
but I got you covered.
Worried about the money.
Yeah, we ain't worried about. We got you covered.
What we're doing here right now.
And then here too.
Appreciation, respect you got for me, and it's all about what we're doing right now, and it's just a great opportunity. I mean, you've helped me through a lot of years, man. You've been on my side, support. It's Chicago Fabrication.
Yep.
And now we got this. You got this whole different program going on with whatever blows your hair back.
Yep.
And you've been on board, man. You're just like, man, I'm with you, Danny boy. I never gave
I'm a
up
supporter.
on
I
you.
never gave up.
I love you for that, man.
Yeah, I love you
appreciate
too for
that.
it, man.
I
It was a
mean,
good
if you-
time.
If you want to give yourself another shout out, you go ahead.
Hey, I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back. We got Tan Man on the sticks. We got Danny Koelsch in here, professional flat track racer. And we're here talking about all his career history and tuning, guys. We're still talking.
And anyways, I know the list is long, but I've just got to
Got to do it. No,
So it's next one is Bell Helmets. Bell Helmets has kind of been on my program for a lot of years, man. They've been supportive for me, taking care of me, giving me helmets, just keeping my silly old head protected, even though I'm kind of brain dead sometimes.
Dan.
But it ain't because of the helmet. It's just because of me.
Man, it's calm. You took a lot of head bangs. I think you're on par, man. You got your shit together.
Yeah, I think so.
To speak on Bell helmets, so when you were a younger racer, my dad bought some snow machines, and you donated some old Bell helmets. And we had those. I was a young kid, and we had these new snow machines, and I would put these Bell helmets on. And I think I know what your sweat smells like. Because I'm like, these smell like shit. What happened to these? And then I'm like, I didn't know about Bell helmets. I didn't know really why they smelled like they did. And then I'm like, this is man sweat from Dan. And we still have those helmets floating around my house, and I've seen a lot of people wear them. And shout out to Bell helmets for being around so long. And
Nice
get a padding change, something. Wow.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. Apparently I wasn't doing the Old Spice.
Oh, man. Something, man. I remember that, though. I got the smell of a helmet, man, just from that smell of that. So that's Bell helmets, though. Brings that. It's nostalgic to that
Yeah,
smell.
yeah. Well, it's one of those things where, work hard, sweat.
Yeah,
That's
you were
what
sweating
happens.
in there. Yeah, you sweating
Yeah.
on the bike.
Anyways, we'll progress on down the list. Roger over there at Magnum, I mean, they deal with a lot of things. They deal in apparel, they deal in helmets, they deal in just all kinds of accessories. But they got a thick book of things down there. They're out of Waterford. He's a great guy. He's been on my side. I think they call it Magic. It might go by Magic too, but they have a name brand of Magnum, and he's been on my side. It's Roger. He's been working with me.
Yeah.
He takes care of me and does a lot of stuff for me and helps me out with different stuff like apparel and stuff like that.
Man, Roger with Magnum. Where'd you get that logo, Magnum? Thought that was taken from whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? Cool brand.
Magnum.
Cool brand,
PI.
Magnum, PI. We'll keep our comments to ourselves.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll keep on moving down the list. Next guy I really appreciate. He's been there for me for years too. I mean, all these, like I said, all these guys have been on my side, and it's Ed Fennell, and he's been from a lot of different businesses. He's been with Lucas. He's been with Driven. He's now is with Z-Max.
Lucas Oil.
Yeah.
Driven is
oil.
Oh, Driven is oil. I used to run Driven.
Joe
Yeah.
Gibbs is the Driven program there.
Okay.
And then he went over to Z-Max, and they have oils, chain sprays, everything you could think of for anything to do with the bike. To dress up your bike with glossy looking stuff. Like right now, you could see that.
Yeah, it looks
some
great.
of the gloss on it. It's got.
I was loving it. I was admiring it earlier.
They got a lot of chain lubes and everything you could think of, contact, brake cleaner stuff. They do all kinds of stuff.
Man, we're
and
really
that's-
going down the
that's a
line. You can
great
pretty much
thing.
rebuild a bike with all your sponsorships and connections. You can rebuild a bike and then market it to resell it. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
That's cool, man.
I know. But anyways, we'll move on down the list. And then we got Annie over there at Saddleman out of California. What they do is they reupholster seats, and they do a lot of the saddlebag stuff, and they do a lot of things with bikes.
Yeah.
All
Really
road bikes
unique,
and
one-off,
stuff.
custom.
Real unique, yes, absolutely. I mean, like my Harley seats, they're leather, but they got a star and a 93 in them, and that's how they stitch that into the seat.
That's their logo.
That's their whole thing that they do. That's what Saddleman does. And Saddleman does a lot of different things with seats, with saddlebags and stuff like that. Anything for road bikes and maybe some apparel too. So
Shout out Saddleman out of Cali. We're all around the map with this, guys. All around the map.
And then we got a guy that does some phenomenal work in our paint on our Harleys.
Okay.
I mean,
you got some nice paint
Bud
jobbers
Morrell
on
is our
there.
paint guy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He takes care of us. He does a great job at what he does with paint. He knows how to put it on. He knows how to make it sassy and looking good.
Paint
so
can get
that's
screwed
what
up
it's all
really
about,
easy. Yeah,
man.
paint, you get that orange peel. There's a lot of bad stuff that can go on in the paint game.
Yeah, for sure.
Does he do
Absolutely.
graphics too? Graphics or just paint?
I think he just does paint. Yeah,
Okay.
He paints
don't
his
do-
own graph. He
just-
looks at stickers for kids.
Yeah, take them
Stickers-
off. Take
No,
'em off.
you gotta supply. You gotta supply the actual stickers for him to put on the paint job. So
Makes
yeah,
sense.
big deal with Bud Morrell there. That's for sure. So-
Shout out Bud Morrell.
And then next we have Brent Armbruster. Brent
Yeah,
Armbruster
Brent.
has built Grand National champions. He's been a crew chief for a lot of for guys that carried #1 plates, and he's been one of my best friends through my whole career since I've been little. We've raced together. He's about my age. He's just a phenomenal guy. I mean, we try to do things together. He lives down south. He's got a lot going on, but man, I can't thank him enough for what he's done through my life and been a friend and been there for me to help.
Well, Brian, you got some good words being passed over here. You got a friend in Dan. You got a friend in me.
Yeah,
Sounds like a
right
good
on.
guy.
So we're trying to get to the end here, and then also I want to do a shout out with Jack Overfield.
Shout out Jack.
He's helped me out here and there. I mean, with some gas and stuff like that, and never asked for it, man. I don't know. I've been really blessed, like I said. I mean, it's just like all of a sudden it's just like
Jeff shows up with a can of gas, a
bomb
handful
drop,
of matches.
mic drop. Here you go, bro.
Just when you need
can
it,
of
and it's like,
gas
man,
is-
that just
can
helped.
of gas is like $100 and some for a 5-gallon can of gas.
Oh, I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, man.
You
So
run that
just to
100
drop over
110 octane.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot just to say, hey,
I love
I'm
the
going to give
smell
you a
of it.
5-gallon can of gas.
I just love the smell of
So
it.
it is. It's a good smell.
It's a
for-
good smell at a racetrack. I'm not sitting in
Yeah.
the garage doing it, but at the racetracks, I'm loving it.
Right on, right on. So Jack is a great guy.
Shout out Jack, man. You're a great guy.
And then Tim Humphreys. Tim Humphreys has been there for me too, man. He's tried to help me out as much as he can. He drove our box van to California when we raced over
he's driving,
California.
let you sleep,
and I just
running.
flew,
Oh,
just
man.
kicking back.
Dude, the driver, see, man,
Living-
there's a lot of people involved in this operation. Wow.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to feel like you're in the king.
Is that
kicking
how you
back,
felt?
just doing the airplane fly.
It's like, yeah,
you know.
everyone's driving, I'm flying in. Yeah, it was probably a time where you were like, this is it.
Yeah,
That was kind of like, maybe that was a moment where you hit it.
yeah.
And you're like, this is professional racing right here.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. It was.
Congratulations on that. You felt it.
Yeah, I did.
Felt
So, anyways, and then we move on down to finalize things. Jim Shepard. Jim Shepard, he's a local guy here. I think most everybody knows the Shepard family. I mean, from
it. Mr. Shepard
Corey
was a shop
Shepard
teacher. Oh,
and
yeah. Big
Al
one.
Shepard.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that whole
Shepard
family.
family.
That whole clan
They're
there.
motocross
I mean,
guys right now.
Yeah.
Lincoln's the youngest one who works at the mill.
Yeah. Okay.
His dad, Alan Shepard's a mechanic, always working on his bike. Corey Shepard.
Yeah. Jim's his brother.
And those guys are a good family pack that knows how to build a race car, race bikes. Just the cleanest shop. I've been in their shops. I got nothing but great things to say about the Shepard family.
Yeah. Yeah. Jim is a great guy. He's helped us out through thick and thin with things and. With
They're
some-
always
with
down
some
to help those
supplies.
guys. I remember
Oh,
pulling
yeah.
my bike
They
up, just
definitely-
needed anything fixed, helping this neighbor kid fix a bike.
Yeah,
That's Alan
absolutely.
Shepard for you and Corey.
So I think that's pretty much all does it right there. I mean, actually, I got Kevin at Goon and Glass there. He's one of those things again, and he just dropped me some stuff, man, and said, "Here,
Here's a new
I got
windshield,
use
man."
for this. You can have it, and it's going to be useful for us."
Cool.
And
So,
it's
worked
awesome.
out.
Sometimes like that, things just happen, and it's totally awesome.
Let me check. Let me see on my notes what I got wrote down. What I want to make sure we talked about. We talked about how expensive. We talked how we worked together at the mill and grew our relationship from there. Maybe we didn't.
I don't think we
I
did.
don't think
I
we did.
I don't think we touched on that.
So
actually.
yeah, all I got to know Dan is Dan was working at Standish Milling when I was just a young buck, probably 10 years old, coming around, and he was just always a good guy to me. And I would always, my dad would be hanging out with you, and I'd watch you ride, and I'd be like, wow, like I said earlier, like, man, you guys are just, that's what I want to do. I never got to that level, but I always admired it, and I got the luxury to work with you, and we built a good relationship, and we've been friends ever since. And
Absolutely.
so that's a shout out Standish Milling once again for bringing us together. It's a small community, and everyone helps one another here.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't thank your family enough. I guess actually, because the fact is when I was about early 20s, I
Yeah.
guess. I didn't really know you guys that well.
Yeah.
I mean, but then I was getting my hair cut with your mom.
Oh.
Obviously, I don't have to worry about getting haircuts no more because I'm a little bit older and I ain't got much hair no more.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, for that to be said, I mean, your mom used to cut my hair, and I kind of got to know her, and she introduced me to your dad, and she actually introduced me to God too. You know,
My
She
mom's
kinda got me-
a big God woman.
She got
Holy
got me
roller.
tapped on the shoulder and opened my eyes a little bit, and and got me closer. Got me started in the right path of God, and I appreciate her for that.
I remember
mean,
seeing that.
we've probably had her ups and downs, me and your mom.
Yeah.
And I've probably had your whole family.
Yeah.
I love each and every one of you
Yeah.
guys. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only one I have a real big problem with, and I'll be honest, is Corey.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I love Corey. Though.
Yeah.
I do. I love all you guys. I ain't no hate for him. I
Yeah.
don't know why he has it out for me. I don't know. We
I
ain't got to
know.
go in that detail.
Oh.
But and for that matter, even bringing Tan Man. I remember back when I started, after I was introduced to your mom and she started introducing me to your dad, and I got involved with the mill, and he hired me in, and a few years went by, and Tan Man was in the bulk truck with me. And
remember
he
the
was
story.
on the seat, jumping up and down right through town here, actually. The cop pulled me over. And cop didn't quite like that, and I got a ticket because Tan Man was jumping up and down on the seat and said you had to be buckled in.
Smooth. Yeah, it just wasn't a smooth talker back then.
Yeah. It's kind of a unique story, I guess.
Yeah.
It's something I won't never
You won't
forget.
forget
So.
that. You won't forget.
I think I seen my mom like in a deep talk with you when I was a kid, looking like, is she yelling or maybe they talking or I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna stay out of it. I remember seeing something like that. So yeah, all right, maybe she touched the Holy Ghost of God down on your shoulder. Like,
maybe
boom,
she has.
touch
maybe
of
she
God.
has. So
That's cool. So yeah, that's a good backdrop on that story. I think that covers most what I have. If there's any closures or things that you have that we didn't discuss, I am going down the studio hit list. Yeah, we talked about everything I got.
Good session.
yeah, I think I could probably hit on a couple more things.
Go
I
ahead,
guess
let's
if we
do it.
want to.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
we need to end.
No,
it. I mean,
no.
I don't.
Need to end.
I don't
Just
know where
keep
we
it
got to go
rolling.
with this.
You were
but
here.
I just want to make sure that everybody's aware. It's kind of hard to see my leathers back there.
Why
Actually,
don't I just grab them?
I mean, yeah.
Put that on.
If
Put it on, would you?
if he wants to grab that, and I'll give a little description on what it actually is, and
Take the jacket for it, Dan. These are
I
heavy.
guess I don't know if I need to. You want me to actually put it on? I mean, it's not really.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
I
You
mean-
don't- you don't have to
Hey, I put it on, man.
Yeah. So
Put it
what
on,
is-
Dan.
What it is a suit. It's leather. It's got some actual airability, I guess. I don't know if you'd call it airability or not, but
These
it's
are
got some knee
hard.
pads and it's got some elbow pads on it. And
They're real
NJK,
leather.
they make a good suit here. And also
nice suit.
inside the suit, I don't have it with me right now, but
Here, bring it
as you
here,
can see, is that there's a cord that connects right here. And what this does, it connects to an airbag system. And there's an airbag system that goes inside the jacket around your body, and when you actually go to fall off or some sudden movement, the airbags deflate inside.
Have you had a chance to test it yet?
No, I have not.
You don't want
I
to.
don't
It's one of
want
those
to
things you
because
don't want to
then-
experience.
Yeah, because obviously you can only
You gotta
reuse
buy
it.
a new jacket.
Obviously, you don't have to buy a new jacket, but you got to buy the new.
No, he's gonna give it to me, and it's
elements.
gonna smell, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, this
You
is
got to
what
buy.
used
You got to
material."
buy the new elements inside, which is like a battery pack element thing that blows up. So, yeah, it's all basically a leather suit. It's got a lot of aeration in through it. It's pretty comfortable, believe it or not.
Oh, we got
Pretty
Jim
cool,
Shepard
pretty
right
cool.
on the back.
Wow.
Couch
Yeah, we got
Racing,
Jim Shepard.
number 93.
Obviously,
Couch Racing.
Apologize for the Jim Shepard spelt wrong. Apparently, it's only one P, but
Where's
it's
the
too
number?
late after it happened. So
Where's the number 93 come from? Was that your year, 1993?
no, that's
Champion
just
year.
actually the number they gave me when I turned expert.
Oh, dude, this is whatever blows
Yeah.
your hair back logo right here. This is whatever
Nice
blows your hair
logo.
back logo. Like we said, we represent.
So when you
That's
get in
leather
that,
too,
you get in
Dan.
that suit, yeah,
Oh,
it's all leather.
man.
You get in that suit and you fall down and poof, it's like that.
Whatever
that
blows your hair back.
that commercial, poof. the airbags blow out like you're in a car with the airbags.
We don't want Dan to find that out. You got enough broken bones, man. I just don't seem like that's gonna help you that much. You could probably still hurt yourself pretty well.
Oh no, you can. You're definitely gonna hurt yourself. I mean, every airbag's not gonna save you from getting hurt bad. So, but I wanted to give a little detail on that, and also a shout out to RPM Promotions. That's kind of where I've been doing most of my racing with. It's RPM Promotions.
Shout out RPM Promotions. Fill me with the R and the P and the M means.
I really don't know.
Well,
Is that the
golly.
RPM?
I'm sorry.
RPM means
I'm sorry.
per miles, rate per miles.
I really don't know.
What does our RPM like in the
They're
vehicle they stand
Indiana.
for?
It's Jeff Hare. Jeff Hare's out of Indiana. He does a great job at just producing tracks and developing them and making them right for the riders. And, you know, that's basically, I've been doing a lot of them races with that promotion, the RPM promotion. So, yeah,
shout out RPM Promotions. They're out there supporting.
Yeah, because obviously I'm not in the actual expert level anymore because I retired from that.
Yeah, you retired and now you're
But
in.
now you can ride races that are pro class.
They
got
still
classes.
respect your greatness. They understand you're a little older. You're more careful with your body. It's
Oh,
like we're
yeah.
going to put you guys here, but you're still up on the pedestal. They're still bringing you as a class act for people to watch.
Yeah,
You're still
yeah.
selling tickets
Yeah, I guess.
because you're going fast and you're breaking bones.
We're
People
trying
like to
to.
see that.
We're trying to.
Well, man, we need you to go fast, Dan.
I do the best I
Ricky
can.
Bobby, go
you know.
fast.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've had a lot of accomplishments through my life. I mean, as you can see, there's a few trophies. I haven't had probably the most significant accomplishments. I mean, everybody loves to be a champion.
Yeah, it feels great.
You
I don't
know.
know if I've been a champion or anything.
And I've had some ups and downs. I've had some bad times and some, you know,
That's life.
that is life.
It's like I think
You know.
everyone would say that. I don't think someone's like, yeah, I just was born and just like everything was great every day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to meet that guy. Be a motivational guy.
So when does the flat track season run, Danny boy? What's the season?
Yeah, where are we at right now in the season?
Well, we're about ready to finalize things. There's only a couple races left. RPM Promotions is actually going to be putting another race in Lima, Ohio this Saturday. They're running an amateur event in the morning and then running the pro event at the nighttime.
So there you have it. This Saturday,
so
you're
we can see
racing
you this
in.
Saturday?
This Saturday, you're racing in Ohio.
Lima, Ohio.
Lima, Ohio. Danny Boy's racing this Saturday. Catch a ticket if you're in Lima, Ohio. I actually probably got a buddy, Paul, that lives close to lives in Ohio. I don't know if he lives close by. Is that by Columbus? I don't know
It's
where
a
Lima
little
is.
bit north of Columbus. It's off
And-
75.
Be cool if you could catch a fan, you know, show up like, I see you on the Whatever Blows Your Hair backstation. I freaking love you, Dan.
And then after that, when's the next one after that? Is there one more? Or?
Actually, there actually is one. I'm glad you asked because there is one October 5th in Hastings, Michigan.
Ooh, that's more
Hastings,
local.
that's
So
local.
That
That's
is
close.
just
That-
west of Lansing.
We can promote that.
We
a
can
little bit.
promote the race. You know, yeah, Dan's got a couple races left in the season. If you haven't got a chance to watch them, you got the one in Lima, Ohio this weekend, and then October 5th in Hastings, Michigan, will have be a second race. So that's 2 times you can see Dan for this season. That's
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
That is.
That's
Do
cool.
some promotion for your races, see you on the Harley, and reaches at those high speeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
That's what
I,
it's all about.
I think that's all I got for you, man. I'm just glad you came on the show. Whatever Blows Your Hair Back Studio. And everybody, this is Danny Koelsch, professional flat tracker, motocrosser, inspirator, and one of my guys that I always looked up to growing up. And he's on the show, and we're signing out. I'm Tyler, whatever blows your hair.